We have a great show tonight. We have a lot to talk about.
A lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah. Well, E3 just happened.
Wait, what? Where did we go, Arthur?
We went to E3.
Woohoo!
It was very exciting. For those who don't know, it's the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It's the video game conference. I mean, if you don't know what it is, then
play video games.
Yeah. But and tonight we also have with us a couple people from G.A.M.E here in Utah. We have Aaron and we have Noah.
Hey, good to be here.
Say hi. Before we get started, could you just tell us a little bit about your affiliation with G.A.M.E and what your job is with them?
Sure. My name's Aaron Hastings. I'm doing public relations with Salt Lake Gaming Con, and just having a fun time working with them. Con's coming up in about 5 weeks now. So
yeah, and what's the dates on that again?
August 6th, 7th, and 8th. So awesome. Mark your calendars.
Yep. And we got Noah.
Hi there, Noah Bjorgi, or as you know me on Facebook, Booker Noir Cosplay. I'm the cosplay portion of the Gaming Con, so we're working hard to make it awesome for you guys. So yeah.
Cool, and we'll get more into that a little bit later on in the show. So yeah, we're really excited to have them on tonight. So tonight, this is our E3 Spectacular. We have tons of fun things to talk about, but of course, we want you guys to join in the conversation. You can jump onto our Facebook to find the group chat, or you could also call in 801-254-5855. And if anyone, or what's this one again? What's the 180?
Oh, and then we have that's for the local number, and then for anyone else, we have 1-888-919-2355.
Yep, we're going to talk all about a bunch of video games and things like that, and just our impressions of E3, and and really just see how things go on. So, are we ready to get started, Arthur?
I don't know if I'm ready.
I don't think you are. And really quick, we also have some awesome things to give out. We got some cool swag from E3, and we want to give it out to you guys. So, throughout the show, we'll be asking a few questions, and just get ready for that. Get ready, because we got some sweet stuff to give out. So, first things first, we're going to go throughout each major press conference, and we're going to talk about just our impressions of the conference in general, and also about certain games. So, Arthur, what's first up?
Well, first up we have Bethesda and my personal favorite, Doom. Doom, it's like the first-person shooter that started it all. And it looks like it's finally kind of going back to its roots. First of all, it's a beautiful game, great art design, extreme violence. Like, it's ridiculous. We're talking like literally ripping people in half and pulling out.
Which we're always down for.
Yeah. I'm always up for a good.
And it's also Bethesda's first conference, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I mean, how did we think Bethesda did overall for their first conference? What do you guys think?
Oh, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Highlight of the con. I think my biggest thing, especially with the Doom trailer, I think a man's leg was ripped off and then beaten to death with it.
Exactly.
And it was a wonderful, beautiful, just incredible thing. And then of course Fallout 4. Very excited for that. But yeah, I mean Bethesda, way to knock it out of the park. And again, it's interesting because. I mean, it looks like they haven't done it. This is their first one, and it sounds like they're not going to do it again, probably.
The thing is like they basically announced their entire lineup of games, which, don't get me wrong, they gave us what we wanted. We wanted Fallout. We wanted a new Dishonored. They gave it to us. We wanted Doom. We wanted a good gameplay trailer of Doom instead of a teaser. So, I mean, I think they're okay if they take a break next year, as long as they give us good games.
Yeah. I mean, they're not a huge publisher, so in some ways I was kind of like, what are they going to talk about for all that time? But, I mean, that didn't matter. But, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess, like you were already talking about Doom. So, Arthur, were you saying that's, been a game you've been playing for a while? Or what were you saying?
Oh, so, Doom, man, I've always been a huge fan of Doom. And, id Software, John Carmack, he's a genius. He basically has been he's making us think video games look like real life for the last 20 years. even though the original Doom, if you were to look at it now, you're like, wow, that looks so fake. But back then, I mean, that was like real. Like, it's funny how that is.
Mind blowing.
Oh my, yeah. What? Look at the pixel count on that.
What was the last game that came out of Doom? Was it just called Doom?
It was Doom 3.
Doom 3
yeah.
Resurrection of Evil.
Doom
Was
the expansion.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so how did you guys see? The only Doom I've played was the free thing that came on my computer. That's really the only thing that I've ever played, and I'm sad to say I've seen the movie with Rock.
Yeah.
So I haven't had. I mean, don't get me wrong. Doom on my PC was awesome.
Is that The Rock you said?
The Rock.
It doesn't matter what you say.
Can you smell? Yeah, but what are your guys' hopes? The ones that have played Doom, what did you like as opposed to the past game that we saw, and what do you hope is in the Southern game? Any of you guys here?
Well, I played all the Dooms, and then in the expansion, they actually packaged Doom 1 and 2 in the actual the DLC an extra, so I was able to play it all. So my favorite part about that is just how you have to. It's almost like a driving game, how much you how you turn because you're moving so fast. Yeah. So I just like that they put that fast-paced action back in there. It just seemed how you sprinting past everything, and then, I don't know. It was just harkening back to the days where you're like, oh, Doom.
Yeah, exactly.
Teaching me to hate demons in space since I was a wee child.
Yeah, exactly. Arthur or
Aaron, do you have anything?
I just 2 thumbs up. I loved that. I was looking closely at that trailer and I noticed the shotgun. There's no range limit puppy. And it's just with Call of Duty or even Halo, you've got to get up close to use it. But it's the Doom tradition to just grab a shotgun and just let's go to 10. I think the trailer really encompassed it really well. So.
You know what I love is the original Doom to me kind of encompassed it's shameless. It was violent. We had demons from hell. And it was just you ran 60 miles an hour shooting things as fast as you could. And they had all those secrets and trapdoors where you're oh, get the key card. And you're oh no, all the monsters popped out. I mean, it was just a fun game with clever level design. And it was just pure, simple fun. And that's
what you're hoping for this game?
Yes, that's what I'm hoping for. Doom 3 was a little... I mean, it was good. It wasn't bad, but I don't know. What do you think?
I really liked Doom 3. The expansion was kind of a little bit clearly they played I don't know if Half-Life. I'm not sure which one came out first, Half-Life or whatever. Cause
I think Doom 3 came out before Half-Life 2.
Because in the expansion you get the gravity gun kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm did you guys play Half-Life? Because that's incredibly similar to Half-Life. Yeah. So I really liked it though.
It was scary. I could play it for 30 minutes and I had to stop.
Oh yeah, I used to see if I can make this level. And then when the Hell Knights would show up, I was nope. But it's just something. What I liked really about it though was the new level designer they had in there, where you can make your own competitive maps and then put your friends in there. Because I know as soon as I get that, I'm going to put my friends to their paces, and I'm going to put Hell Knights and everything everywhere and just be yeah, no, this is Doom. Doom has to have a lot of giant monsters shooting a lot of things at you.
Exactly. And I mean, Doom kind of started the tradition of modders, and Fallout 4 is kind of continuing that tradition.
Yeah, that was a big announcement when, we're going to allow mods. It was
mods on the Xbox.
Yeah, day one, you're going to allow that? So I was wow, okay. That was news. That was something I'd never would expect from Bethesda to just do. But but I'm a big Fallout guy, so playing. As soon as I heard Fallout 4 announced, I just jumped on my Xbox, put on Fallout 3, and I just started playing it again.
Well, and we'll get to Fallout 4 because I want to say one more thing about Doom, Arthur. Call. My favorite thing, and kind of coming from a new perspective of it, my favorite thing was kind of what you guys have said, the executions or whatever they were doing. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But I love how he kicked he tripped a dude and then kicked him or something like that, and smashed the dude's skull with it. We're sounding really sadistic right now,
yeah.
But I mean, they're demons.
We're really nice guys.
Yeah.
These are evil people who had it coming. It's fine.
Yeah.
Demons. Exactly. Yeah. Unlike GTA.
If you'd have been there, you'd have done the same.
If you'd have been there.
Before you get all offended, these are space demons. Let's make it right now.
Not people, not real people. All right.
Space these demons with shotguns and knives. They are trying to get you.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick cleared the air on that one.
Exactly.
So are we cool to talk about Fallout now?
Yes, let's move to Fallout now.
Well, you're a much bigger Fallout fan than I am.
Well, and I dare say I'm not. I mean, I played the third one. I haven't beat the third one, so I can't. I have to say that I'm not. But I loved playing it, and I really I'm more excited about it because I played the third Fallout, and then I played Skyrim, and see. Okay, so sorry. Let me backtrack here. I played Oblivion. Wasn't that the one before?
Yeah, Oblivion.
I played Oblivion, and I just could not get into Oblivion. I just there was tons of good stuff, but I won't lie. I really like story and I like quests, and don't get me wrong. There was that in the game, but you really had to search for it, and then once you found a quest, you had to go so far to do it. But I think they really improved that with Skyrim. Skyrim, I played that backwards and forwards and as much as I can. And then Fallout 3, I felt was a good step towards the right direction, and I actually had that in there. So I'm really excited because you always see with these games a progression of not saying that Oblivion wasn't a good game. A lot of people think Oblivion is amazing, and I think it's a good valid point. But I'm just saying they always improve most of the time. So I'm really excited to see where they come from Skyrim. And learning what they did and learn from Skyrim and why that was a good idea. And then going into Skyrim to Fallout 4. And the fact that it's going to be twice the size.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's going to be massive.
Come on now.
And I like in Skyrim and in Fallout 3, you're collecting so much crap, and apparently in Fallout 4, you're going to be able to build a garrison or a base and stockpile all your crap.
Yeah.
And again, it reminded me a lot of Skyrim, buying a house and stuff, and this idea of just progression, right? And so, really hopeful.
I'm a cosplayer, so my point of view from video games is I sit there and I see the stuff, and I'm right away, I'm starting that. So when the shot for the Brotherhood of Steel armor starts at the feet and starts slowly moving up, you're yes, 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 and then they show it that you have a jetpack now, and you can modify your weapons. It's they've done it. They've just made basically a cosplayer's heaven because now you can make your guy and then you can make your guy and become him. So
yeah. And not only can you make a guy, you can make a girl as well.
Yeah,
yep.
Which is
pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I like the character, the creation's great. I think it's going to be awesome because before I started a new file when I started playing Fallout 3 again after they announced 4, and I'm oh my, this is just awful. I'm these. The textures of the face and stuff, I'm oh man, Fallout 4, you can beat this easy. The bar's not very high, so please do. but yeah, and just all the customization in that, and I think that's it's a good idea. I just don't know how well it's going to be implemented because there's some where nowadays where forging your own weapons almost is just a gimmick. It's I'd rather just have straight up. A shotgun instead of you can make a shotgun that shoots carrots to summon rabbits when you hit them with it. You're can I just have a shotgun? I don't know.
That's interesting.
It's an interesting point. It's an interesting thing, and I hope it works. But I see potential to fail. I'm just wanting Fallout to live up to what I know it can be. So
gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
It's got to live up to the hype. I mean, that's the biggest thing is we've made far too much progress, and I think Elder Scrolls Online. Gosh, dare I bring it up? I mean, again, it was okay, but it didn't live up, right? It didn't have what it took to be a valid entry, and so I think the biggest issue with Fallout 4 is it's got to be executed. It's got to be executed right from day one, right?
Yeah.
And especially with a lot of these next gen games and consoles. There's so much, oh, crap, we released a prototype, right? We've got to patch it. We've got to patch it again. We've got to patch it again. They've got to get it right the first time.
Yeah, day one patching is just a pain.
Yeah, seriously.
It's happened a lot. I mean, I had to do that for Batman.
Yeah.
So,
but at least that one wasn't too bad. It
4
was
gigs, yeah. It took about an hour.
I think it's called you're used to it.
Technically, I think it said that I could still play the game.
Yeah, it
just certain network features and things like that.
Because I know as soon as I got it, I hooked up my PS4, and as soon as I was like on it, and
Nice.
it's like your game might not run properly. I'm like, I don't care. Give me the Batmobile. I want to shoot some people.
Yeah.
But another good thing about Fallout 4 is the voice acting I saw. That's another thing I think that's going to make or break that game. Is if because I mean like you've been playing Batman, so you know like when you rescue people, like how Batman's just so stoic and like you'll be fine. Like,
I've noticed that.
Like, can you just emote? Like these other people are like emoting, and I know you're Batman, but you can at least just. Like move, like have some kind of sway animation. I don't know. That's what bugs me. But I mean,
I've noticed that a little bit with Batman. But another thing I'm really excited about is that they mentioned in the story that certain parts are going to take place before, or maybe it's just the beginning, but before the war happens, which I think would be really cool.
It sounds really cool.
Because I mean, you always get you read the books or something like that from the game, and you can piece together what happened. You're like, okay, so China attacked and all that, but actually seeing it go down, that was one of the things. Like I'm like. I wouldn't even mind if half the story took place before the war.
That would be way sweet.
Because like even if that was what they did for the Fallout shelter was like released it where you would have to like build the company for Vault-Tec and then fill them up, like something like that would have been awesome. Which thanks Bethesda for making that game only on iOS instead of Android. Thanks for making me wait a while for that.
That is kind of interesting that they chose to do that as well. I'll have to. I haven't actually checked. I mean, I have iOS, but I'll have to check it out. But yeah, I hear a lot of people pretty upset about that. So
it doesn't make sense. Like I get it before when the market was more, everything was iPhone, but now it's like they're both basically equal.
They're pretty big. Yeah.
So
to ignore one is kind of interesting. Really quick on the chat. Chad is listening and driving. Be careful. And he's excited. He's excited for the show, and he wants to give swag. We'll keep listening, Chad, and we will. Courtney, you guys know Courtney.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gaming Con. She's really excited, enjoying the show.
Hi, Courtney.
And, we're really excited for all that's going down. So, sorry, we want to really quickly and do that. And remember, you can join us on the conversation. You can join us on the chat. You can also join us on the chat, like I just said. But you can also call in. Arthur, have you put the chat on our Facebook yet?
No.
You'll do that. And then you can jump onto our Facebook and join that way. We're also on the Inception Radio Network, right? So we're excited for all those guys that are still listening over there. Cool. So let's see. We talked about Doom. Any other last things about Fallout 4 before we continue?
Nope.
I'm really excited about it.
Super stoked.
If they can implement all the good things from Skyrim, I mean, Fallout 3 was already obviously huge successful, and I hear New Vegas. I can't wait to get my hands on New Vegas because I'm really excited. I heard that one's awesome.
I played New Vegas. I don't know what it really was supposed to be, like a sequel. I think what it might have been is we're developing a new engine or something. Like, not like a new engine, but we're like trying to move forward and stuff. And I loved it because it was. I mean, it's like when I was growing up, my favorite place in the world was Vegas. So playing like Fallout in Vegas was like awesome. But yeah, it's worth a play. My favorite thing about Fallout, and I hope they fill it full of this, is just the Easter eggs and like homages to other games.
Oh, totally.
Like when you there's one part where I think it's a Mothership Zeta for Fallout 3. You go up there and like you can find the actual like Doom guy's armor, and like one of the back corners, like he's dead.
Yeah, I was playing the new Wolfenstein prequel thing. And which was also developed by Bethesda, and there's a part where you're searching through files, and I was searching through a file, and I looked on a dude's desk, and one of the things you could put on as your armor was the Skyrim helmet.
The horns,
the horns. Yeah, I was like, I love how I did this, but I can. No one's watching. It's just these guys looking at me.
I know,
so.
but
At least we got what you meant.
Yeah.
Well, I just got to say one thing about that. It's kind of a Return to Castle Wolfenstein remake, but not quite as good as the first one. But there's this awesome moment where, like, you get into a safe house, and someone's like, "Okay, you got to put all your weapons away and put on this uniform. Like, you're looking good without your shirt, but you need to put some clothes on so you can blend in." And like, he literally takes off like 8 guns, hiding them, and puts them in a chest. And I laughed so hard. I I love stupid stuff.
Which
like
is funny because we were watching we watched Thunderdome, Mad Max, because we watched the new Mad Max. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome show. But we were watching all the other Mad Maxes and we were watching Thunderdome. And there's a part where they're like, hey, you have to leave your weapons here. And he literally pulls out tons of weapons. And I thought that was very video game-esque. I don't know if they did that on purpose because I don't know how big video games were back then. I don't think they could do that in the 80s. But still, it was pretty fun. Cool. Well, then let's move from Fallout. Oh, sorry. Were you going to say something, Arthur?
Oh, I was just going to say that we have a link to the chat on our Facebook page where JWAT Productions, that's J-WAT Productions. Just look us up on Facebook and join us on the chat.
Perfect. Dishonored 2, Arthur. Would you like to lead us on that? I did Fallout.
Sure. So they did. I don't think they showed any gameplay. I think it was all just cinematic.
Yeah.
That being said, I loved the first Dishonored. Great setting, really cool art direction. The original was at least by the guy who did the art direction for Half-Life 2, which I'm in love with. But
right,
and I just love kind of how it's like. What do you call it? Maybe steampunk Victorian era or
definitely
steampunk.
Another thing with that game is they had tons of like professional. Not saying that voice actors aren't professional actors. They had a lot of A-list actors in there, which was pretty interesting. But I really liked Dishonored, so I was pretty excited to hear about Dishonored 2. But they have some really cool new things to add with Dishonored. So, what were some of your guys' impressions? Do you guys like Dishonored at all?
I actually haven't played Dishonored. I'm ashamed to admit.
No, it's okay.
But
there's millions of games, so you know how you can't play all of them. So.
Oh, I know it's so hard to keep up. But I'm excited for it. I mean, it sounds really good. I think I saw the trailer, and I've seen like 20 trailers in the last like 5 days. It's incredible.
I get you.
We can't keep them straight.
Oh man, it's horrible. I'm like, I remember it looked really cool. Okay,
yeah.
But,
Arthur's been doing that a lot. We were like, I was like. He's like, oh, did you hear about this game? And I was like, Arthur, we watched the trailers together. And he's like, oh, yeah. So we get that. We get that a lot. What about you, Noah? Do you like Dishonored at all?
I played it a little bit, but I didn't get really far into it. I can't remember. I think something else.
Oh.
I got it after it was released. So, and then something else dropped, and I was like,
that happens a lot, too.
I'm like, okay, sorry, Dishonored.
That's another thing to talk about, too, is like, because there's a lot of games that I've done that, too, with. So.
Oh, yeah.
So with Dishonored, then, I mean, really the big thing is that you get to play as... the girl, and I forget her name exactly, but
Emily? Amy?
Sure, we'll say that's her name.
That's it. Okay.
So yeah, like Arthur said, we didn't really get to see some gameplay footage, but Arthur, what did you like from? I'm assuming that it has some of the powers and stuff you're going to be able to do in the game, but what did you like about it?
Well, I really liked that. General Grievous character, like the guy with like the 4 swords and whatnot.
Well, those were like robots.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it. I thought it was cool.
Robots,
the bodyguard bots.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah, I just like that she can like almost. It almost looked like she could like slow down time or something for a little bit there, or something like that, which looked really cool. Yeah, I mean, I know that in the game it says that you're going to be able to play as both of them, your main character. And her, so that's going to be really cool. I mean, we don't know too much about it. They just released that trailer, so I mean, yeah,
teasers.
I think it'll be the teaser. Yeah, no gameplay. So
it's frustrating.
Yeah, we get that a lot, don't we nowadays? So, all right. Well, when do we hit our first break?
About 8 minutes.
About 8 minutes. Okay,
Wow.
cool. Well, yeah, it's flying by right now.
We're cooking with fire.
Yeah, we are.
This is a good soda. I know I can't do an advertising thing, but if you're in the South Jordan area, the radio station, this place makes some unbelievable
They
drinks.
do. Which one did you get?
It's called apple pie.
Ooh, that's interesting.
You had an apple pie. What did you get?
I got a Chandler Bing, which was Mountain Dew with pineapple, coconut, and strawberry.
He got a shrimp fruit.
A shrimp fruit. As in
Okay, all right.
But I guess we can't say the name of the business, but they're
good. They're
soft drink only business.
Real good.
They're good.
We'll have to go down there and
Try and
maybe
convince
a
them.
sponsorship would be cool.
Yeah, 'cause this is like Mountain Dew is like a gamer's,
Drink
fuel.
Oh yeah, they release game fuel every once in a while. So
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump over to a big one. This is one of the big ones. They've disappointed us quite a bit in the past, but just Well, Microsoft, I feel, did a little bit better. So here's Microsoft. We're going to move on over to Microsoft. If you have anything to say about Microsoft, once again, join us on the chat. Call us in, 801-254-5855. For locally, not locally, 1-888-919-2355. Let's talk about Microsoft, guys. The first thing we wanted to talk about was they announced that Microsoft, or the Xbox One, will be starting to be backwards compatible. What do we think about that?
Well, yeah.
Backwards compatible with an asterisk. Or so, or basically. Yeah, a little star. What do you guys think about that?
Well, here's my biggest issue with backwards compatibility. It's a double-edged sword because on the one hand, look, it should have been done when the Xbox One came out because now it looks like, oh crap, we don't really have any games for the Xbox One. Go back and play your 360 games.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
So my biggest issue is great. I love playing my 360 games on an Xbox One. That said, gee, I wish you would release some more games.
They didn't talk too much games, did they, this time around?
No, they did not.
It's kind of sad. But yeah, no. What did you think? Did you watch at all of the Microsoft conference?
My biggest thing for the backwards compatibility is about time.
Yeah.
Like seriously. And then once it's like, okay, well we can't play anymore, so you keep your Xbox 360, and then they announce that backwards compatible. So you're like, now I can get rid of this. Like, but wait, there's a catch. Some titles are playable, not all of them. So now you're gonna play roulette as to what you're gonna play. I mean, it'll probably have like a list, but.
They released a little bit of a list of what you can play, but nothing super hardcore right now. But even then, I think they said something. Oh, you have them right now.
Yep.
Just name a few, just some that catch your eye.
We got Hexic HD, Geometry Wars, Defense Grid. I don't know. I mean,
Mass Effect. Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so
that's not terrible.
Oh, so they don't have a whole bunch. Super Bowl,
Meat Boy,
Star.
Viva Pinata. There's like 20.
Okay, what I've already noticed is that these are already like pre-made games or games you get free with gold if you have the Xbox subscription, like Viva Pinata and stuff like that. See, and that's another thing is it. To me, it's clearly showing favoritism. Almost like I'm not saying like they're doing it, but I mean the way it's like you can play Mass Effect, like okay, but I want to play Dragon Age Origin. Like nope, the original one won't work. You're like, but I want it. And like nope, sorry, better keep your Xbox. It's just kind of like okay, whatever. Like I'll just keep my Xbox then. I mean, save storage on my Xbox One.
And I think they said something about how it's not like you can put in the game and it's going to play. You have to like download. I don't know if it's like the entire game.
No, basically you have to download like an update for. Actually, they might have said download the entire game.
They might have to do some research.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let me ask you guys while my voice is holding in. Just this is not necessarily on the Xbox, but what do you guys, if you use Windows at all, think about Microsoft inserting advertising right into your computer without you asking to do that with the Windows 10 upgrade?
Begin.
You go to, I mean, anything to do on the admin side of your PC, all the Windows 10 stuff is sitting there.
Yeah, no, I get the window pop up on my. I've got like an Ultrabook, 3.5 years old, Windows 7, right, and I'm getting the Windows 10 pop ups, and it's a mild annoyance.
Yeah.
So it's not horrible, but again, it's like Microsoft, stop messing with my stuff. Like really,
me personally. I'm glad. The pop-up might be annoying, and I'm going to wait until people say, okay, it's not going to kill your computer before I update it. But they're giving you a free update, which is about time, because who wants to pay $100, every few years? I mean, yeah, sure, when you build a new computer, but, I mean, finally, you're going to get, like, an actual decent number of people who have the same version of Windows, which, I mean, most people... Like, honestly, I was just going to stick with Windows 7 until, like, the next 5 years.
Right.
But now that they're offering a free one, it's like, okay, well, I'll probably update. So it's a smart move for them.
So you're not going to care about the advertisements?
Well, I mean, you're just referring to the Windows 10 pop-up, or you're talking about...
Well, no, I mean, where they actually deliver an icon in your control panel and stuff like that. I mean, they've actually dropped stuff into your machine.
There you go.
Well, I
mean, it'd be different if you went to the internet and it popped up. But go do a Windows update, and it's sitting right there down in your taskbar now.
Yeah.
That's I don't know what.
It's a little Big Brother-ish.
Yeah, you're like, okay, where's the ad blocker
Billy
for
Gates.
that?
To be fair, Apple does that all the time. Like almost every update, a new app pops into your phone and you can't delete it. And it's like, come on now. But yeah, there you go.
I guess Windows is just like, okay, we need to be more like Apple. So
It's the constant struggle.
yeah. We're going to download apps into your phone now. You can't get Fallout Shelter, but you can have all the apps. And I'm not going to stop complaining about Fallout Shelter because I'm very angry about that because I want it really bad.
Tiny Death Star. You should play that.
Oh, Tiny Death Star is good.
Hear that one's good.
Big fan. Not a big fan of mobile games, but that one, I'll make an exception.
So here's my question for you guys. Do you think, let's say that Microsoft, this backwards compatibility, and I know I probably won't have too much time to talk about this, but we might have to talk about it after the break, but do you think that if this gets big with Microsoft the Xbox One being backwards compatible? All right, everyone, welcome back to Fringe Radio Presents the Game and Movie Empire. We are here talking about E3, and by here I mean I'm with some great friends. We're here with Pat as always, rocking over there. I am Watson, and my radio host is
Arthur.
I said that very seductively.
We were not so.
Yeah, I got lost there for a second. We also have some awesome guests from Salt Lake City Gaming Con, which is going to happen August
6th through 8th.
6th through 8th. So, guys, check that out. And we have Aaron and Noah here. You guys having a good time so far?
Oh, yeah. So much fun.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, we have more fun to come, so don't get
right.
too, get crazy.
Don't have too much fun yet. Save some fun
Save
for
some
later.
fun for later.
Try not to.
Augustas. Okay. So we were just talking about the backwards compatibility. Right now we're talking about Microsoft and their E3 press conference. If you would like to join us, Arthur has really asked me to push the phone number. The phone number is 801-254-5855. Call in, join us on the E3 discussion, or also you can join the chat room. We have it linked on our Facebook. On JWAT Productions, just J-WAT Production. I'm going to sleep. I can't do this. I'm dying. Okay. Awesome. So now that we've taken care of all that, let's jump back into the Microsoft press conference. So we talked about backwards compatibility. The question I was going to ask you guys is, do we think that other consoles are going to follow suit if this gets popular? What are you guys' thoughts?
I think they've got to. They've got to stay competitive. And remember, this all started... This originally started with like Gen 6, Gen 5 consoles of like the collection packs, right? The Sonic Mega Collection or the Zelda Mega Collection. And then it got into the Wii, and everyone was really impressed that the Wii, you could plug in your GameCube controller, you could play GameCube games, and now the Wii U, I don't believe, can do that.
No.
You can play Wii games.
You can
on
play
the
Wii games?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of that there. And then I think with this announcement, the PlayStation's going to be hard pressed to want to follow this.
I think they'll be hard pressed to follow it if they see the sales, because right now Microsoft I think beat Sony barely last month in sales, and then Sony once again came back this month, I believe. But I think it's going to take the money figures for them to do it. I don't think they'll do it right away, because I think they'll be like, yeah, I think we got you, Microsoft. But yeah, maybe eventually. What do you think, Noah?
Well, if the thing is, I think is that they're doing it, and if they're being selective, I mean, that's my thing. Is if I get like an Xbox One, and I want it to be backwards compatible. I want to be able to play all of my games. I might not play all of them,
Sure.
but I want to. So I don't want to be like restricted where Borderlands 2 works, but Borderlands doesn't. Like that would be like, okay, that makes no sense. Favoritism, but yeah. So I think that they might. I know Nintendo does the eShop. So all the ones
True.
you used to play are already there, and they're relatively cheap. So if you really wanted to like get your old school Mario fix, you just pick up the eShop on your DS, and then that's the cool thing is then you're portable. So you don't have to like sit there. You can take your 3DS with you and play like old school Mario from like N64. I know that's actually a cartridge game, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Arthur, we talked about this. What do you think?
So I'm pretty opinionated on this issue. My opinion is this. So Microsoft has to spend money on each backwards compatible game. And here's the thing. They don't make a dime off of it. So let's say Bob here. You guys know Bob, right?
That guy.
So Bob, he's like, oh, I want to buy the Xbox One so I can play Halo. Well, hold on a second. you're like, I can already play Halo on a used 360 I can get for dirt cheap. Why? How's that an incentive to buy an Xbox One? It's a nice thing to do for people who bought the Xbox One, but it doesn't necessarily give them
it's not a
new
selling point.
fans.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think you're wrong. Actually,
Okay.
me personally, I've probably have been more tempted to buy an Xbox One now than ever before, and only because I'm really excited. I would love to have backwards compatibility and play because here's my gaming story. I think the last PlayStation I had was a PlayStation, the very first PlayStation. That's the last PlayStation I had. And then I got the Xbox, and then the Xbox 360. Never had a PlayStation. And then PlayStation 2. Didn't get a PlayStation 2. Didn't get a PlayStation 3. It was actually given to me by my brother when he went off. I'll just say that. So, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong. But then recently, when I was deciding, okay, what console should I go for? I decided the opportunity arrived, and I went for the PS4. And I didn't get an Xbox. I went and upgraded to a PS4. Very happy with it. Very excited about it. However, most of the games that I grew up playing, that I have the nostalgia playing, is Xbox. Xbox 360 and stuff like that. So, to me, that gives me a little more incentive because I did make that switch from Microsoft to Sony. So I'm more tempted, and I think it will give them I'm not saying a huge advantage over Sony, because Sony is doing pretty well right now. But I think it's going to give them at least an edge, and I think if they can sell Xbox consoles, I think Xbox, that's going to go right to them. When you buy a video game, they get hardly little, unless it's like Microsoft
I
Studios.
don't know what it is.
We don't know for sure, but I know that more hands are in there than possibly the consoles. So I think it will help them in sales. Will it be enough to cause other people to want to do it? I don't know. I will say that I do really want Sony to do it because I want to play Kingdom Hearts really bad. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts. I haven't played a single Kingdom Hearts game, and I want to, but I can't because the remastered and stuff. So.
I would say if they gave you some more incentive, like when the new Mass Effect comes out, if they said, okay, well, if you do the backwards compatibility and you play all three and you get them up there, then when you play number 4, it uses some of your data or something.
Cool. Well,
it brings your characters back. That would be incentive to
cool.
get the Xbox, because then you're number 4 is coming out, so if I put it all on this system and I play it here and I get them, then it affects me somehow in the new games, just something like that, just incentive a new, a PlayStation did it for God of War, if you beat all 3 Gods of War, maybe if they release a number 4 or something for the PS4, then all of a sudden they're oh, you get a secret ending or something like that. You're
cool.
You're oh, okay, that's incentive alone to backwards compatibility. So.
Well, and I think that's part of the contingency for me as well. If there was a couple of years back, there was a certain game shop where you would stop and play games. Buy games.
Wait, I don't follow.
But you would bring in your first gen Xbox 360 and they'd give you you'd buy the higher end console at a discount price, the Xbox 360 like the Mark II kind of a thing with the Wi-Fi capabilities and the internal router, and they would upload all of your memory and all of your data from the old to the new, right, for free of charge, right? And so I think if I go in to a game store and I have my old crappy Xbox 360 and they say, hey, we'll put it all onto your Xbox One that you've just bought, and we'll do it at a discounted price, right? That to me would be a huge incentive to go do it.
Pretty cool.
Huh?
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea by any means.
Yeah, then it's loyalty too, because then you like me. I've always been a Nintendo boy, but as soon as Xbox 360 came out, I went to 360 and a PS3 and a 360, and now I have a PS4. So I'm I usually jump around, but for that, if they were if you bring in the Xbox, your Xbox 360 will put all your data so it's safe on your new one, and you can still play the games or something. And like you said, we'll give you a discount or something. Then that would have been a lot more incentive, because I only got the PS4 when Batman came out. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay, but if that was the case, I would have been Xbox. But
Yeah. My thing is that Sony's already got PlayStation Now, which for those who don't know, it's like a cloud streaming service. So basically, they can let you play any PlayStation 3 game on PlayStation Now.
But
you
it's
have
not
to have
official yet, though.
PlayStation now's
been
the thing.
in beta for a while.
Well, whatever. It's coming regardless. But like,
but is it going to work? We don't know.
Well, it's going to work if you have good
At the
internet,
same-
which we don't have.
Which we don't.
This is kind of a sad irony, right there. But,
Yeah. Well, and even then, like, who knows how well the backwards compatibility will work? Who knows? But I mean, you think it would be pretty decent, easy. I mean, to get those kind of games over to a big machine, but then they couldn't do it for PC, could they? With Arkham. Let's not talk about that, Arthur. All right. Cool. Any other words with what was I saying with backwards compatibility?
I can just foresee a day when I put Skyrim for the 360 into my Xbox One and I escape Helgen and the game crashes.
Just over and over and over.
And it will be great.
If they had a way to make actually the graphics better, because I mean, like, I know they kind of up them, but if they had a way like backwards compatibility, yeah, but they work out a way, like in the realm of science fiction and fairy dust, if they were able to like bring your games up at least just like another level in like the graphics wise, that would be a good incentive too. Because like playing the first Mass Effect, like on the graphics we have like now from like Xbox One and PS4, oh, it'd be sweet.
That would be cool.
and that is why I own a PC, friends.
Whoa!
Oh,
I'm there.
Shots fired.
I own a PC as well.
PC Master Race,
But I also own a PS4, a Wii U, and a Sega Genesis. All right,
I
so
own a PS3.
Wii U.
freaking love the Genesis, by the way.
I have like 10, 12 games on there.
Do you have Sonic and Knuckles where you can plug the cartridge up on top?
I do not have that.
Oh
one.
yeah,
I need to.
have the cartridges mate. And
Whoa, let's keep this G-rated.
We're getting a little hot and heavy in the studio right now.
Cool. So let's switch gears just a bit. I wanted to talk about we had this, but I think we should go this because it's kind of along the same. Xbox also announced early access type thing. They called it a different name though. Do you remember what it was called? Do you know what early access is? So basically, it just means games. So for those who don't know, it basically just means developers can release a game for pretty discounted price usually, but the game isn't completely finished. But what happens is you play the game and you give feedback on the game, and then with your feedback, they make the game. Basically, yeah, you play it.
It's beta, right?
yeah, I was about to say it's
kind of
similar
like
to
that.
beta testing.
It's kind of like that.
It's like you
except
pay to beta test a game, basically.
yeah, and like they update it and it gets better. I did this for Forest. It's like a horror survival game where you're in the forest, and yeah, and basically it was kind of interesting to see the game because like there were times where like so basically this island is taken over by these like mutated human thingies, and like when you would attack them, sometimes their bodies would just go blah, 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 and well, I'm going blah, 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 you don't know what I'm doing, but they would like twist and turn and all of a sudden just disappear, and I was like, what? But then they fixed it, and like yeah, I mean it's kind of an interesting idea, but a lot of people, I mean, you're paying for a game that isn't finished. You're not going to play full price. Actually, we don't know that about Xbox. But with Steam and PC, yeah, you pay for a game that's not. But how do you guys think? What do you guys think of that idea of it coming to the Xbox One? What do you guys think?
I'm okay with it if it works. I mean, I can totally foresee me purchasing an early access scenario and then having the game just crash and burn and die in a fire, and me just being like, well, that's frustrating.
Like
your game.
Was it DayZ early access?
Yeah.
Or was that?
Or I think
It's
it's still in early
Yeah.
access. Yeah, I was really disappointed about that. But
I don't know. Some people really love the early access stuff. Like, it's not me. I like to wait till a game's finished. But, I mean, some people, they're like, ooh, that looks cool. I want to play it now. We don't care if it's not close to done.
But Ark was really fun, and it's
Yeah,
not even close
it's
to done.
true.
Which
It's
is, or, well, we don't know how close it is to done. But, yeah. But, yeah, coming to Xbox, what do we think? What kind of... do we think it's going to be successful? I mean, on Steam, it's pretty successful. But is that going to transfer well to console games? What do we think? Arthur?
Maybe not quite as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
PC gamers are kind of used to that sort of thing.
I would do it for the hilarity, because I mean, like, some of the funniest things on the like internet are just like the glitches from games,
totally.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Sims 4 babies when they're first like made and they're all like all stretchy demon creatures. You're just like why would, like, how did that slip by? Like, just I would do it just for that, like, because I like horror games is like my jam, but
Yeah.
just all of a sudden like seeing like the monster like turn like 2 feet tall and the arms and legs like shrink and being like, "Run!" and be like, okay, that was worth the $5 or $20 or whatever. I think it was, so.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to give birth to some new games, and really, like, the point of early access is that they get feedback from their players so that they can actually do something with the game. So yeah, as long as they listen to what they're trying to do and enough people try it, yeah, I hope it works out for them. I don't think that's such a huge thing that it's a turn for Microsoft, but some indie developers might really like that idea, so that could be a good point.
I think it's a positive overall, though.
Sure.
I don't think it's a game changer very much for Microsoft itself, but like you said, I think indie developers that can get a shot at that and let people see, like if when Fez was in development, if they could do that and like hype it up, it'd be awesome. But
That could
I
be
don't know.
really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to move to the HoloLens. Did you get to see this, Pat? Because I think you'd find this very interesting. The Microsoft HoloLens, Arthur, you probably know a little bit more about it than I do. Would you
So
explain it?
basically, it's augmented reality. What that means is you still can see the world in front of you, but you just kind of have an overlaid image. The best way to describe it is like Minority Report. You know how
yeah.
Tom Cruise kind of moves his hands and stuff? It's that sort of thing.
It
really neat.
looks like it. Yeah, it looks like holograms are right in front of you.
But like it's essentially a Windows computer headset type thing. So yeah.
Yeah. So tell them what happened and why we want to talk about it.
So on the Microsoft's press conference, they showed a demo of Minecraft. And
Are you guys any Minecraft players?
Yep.
Too much?
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
are?
Yep.
Okay. Me, not so much. But
I remember the demo for this video and
Right.
just remember thinking, this is like the coolest thing I've
it
ever
was.
seen in my
Yeah,
life.
it was pretty cool. Arthur.
So for those of you with your imaginations, or you can watch you can look up the Minecraft presentation at Microsoft's E3 press conference. But essentially, the first thing they showed is someone could play the game as if it were attached to a wall in their home. The headset just made it look like there was a screen on their wall. Then the other thing they did is they had the game kind of take up a 3D space on top of a table, so it was kind of like you're playing with Legos type of thing. And without, we haven't personally been able to use it, but essentially it's as if the game is part of your world in your home. So that's kind of the idea behind it.